Hi and welcome to Flying Horses Coaching and Consultancy. I'm Claire Billings and today we're going to do a training on being enough, because I think this question of am I enough can really get in the way sometimes, especially as women. I keep talking to people and I've had these conversations over the years that men will just go and do things even if they don't feel qualified. It doesn't even cross their mind. They just go and do it. Whereas we think about things a lot more. So I'm not going to do too much of an intro because I really want to get into the training and I don't want to make it too long. But I do want you to just think about a situation where you are questioning whether you are enough, or you might be putting pressure on yourself. Am I doing enough? Or am I good enough to go on stage? Am I qualified enough to do this job or to do this project? Or can I really set up this business and make it a success? Whatever it is. So come up with a situation. And if you want to stop this video, you can do that just while you think of it. You might also just want to get yourself a sheet of paper so you can jot things down. Maybe an A4 on landscape so that you can put it into some 4 columns and write things down in the columns, or you can have an open exercise book with 2 blank pages and do that. But that sort of thing. So trusting that you've got a sheet of paper, that you've come up with a situation where you feel you're not enough, and just bring that situation up. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at, kind of imagine, visualize, feel into you succeeding. You are, 3 months, a year, 2 years from now, and it's happened and you've done it. Okay, you had to work really hard. There were some bumps in the road and things you had to overcome. That's just life and work and everything. But, you got there and you're kind of like, whoa. I did it. There's that sense of relief, that sense of achievement and pride and excitement. Just think about that for a moment. How does that feel? What's the smell in the air? Is it kind of fresh and light? How are you feeling? Is your face all warm and excited? Are you feeling expanded and spacious and flowing and, all that? Just have a feel into it. Try not to think too much. Don't go off into stories, because while the mind is a wonderful thing, it can also take us off into stories. We want to stay connected to our bodies while we do this. And you might want to use a few mindfulness techniques, like connecting to the chair. Use your seat bones. How do your seat bones feel on the chair? How does the chair feel underneath your backside? As soon as I start to do anything that involves mindfulness, my body goes, oh, great. We're coming out of fight and flight, and starts yawning. So if that happens to you, it's okay. Check in on the breath. Allow your breath to do whatever it wants, and trust your body that it knows what breath you need. Whether it's fast or slow or deep or shallow, just trust it. Check in with your connection to the chair, and what about your feet on the floor maybe as well. Don't worry if you can't feel it perfectly. It's not a test. It's just, there's no right or wrong. It's just getting used to bringing ourselves into our bodies. Okay, so we've looked at the future, where we want to get to, and we've nailed it. This feels amazing. And now I just want us to come back to where we are now. We're going to do this gently and kindly, with warmth in our hearts and a smile on our face, and we're not going to be berating ourselves and allowing that inner critic to take over and be like, oh, well, I'm only here and I need to be there and that's not good enough. No, we're going to be like, okay, this is where I'm at. 4 months into setting up my own company. I've got this in place, but I, don't have that yet. And, whatever it is for you. Yeah, just write them down. Just make notes on the page. So the far right hand column will be where I need to get to. Nice things about how that felt. The left hand column can be here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm at right now. But, said with love. And again, check in with the breath, the chair, the ground, the earth. Notice if there's any tension in your body. Shoulders, are they up round your ears? Are they opening and relaxing? Are they hunched? How does your face feel? Sometimes just by bringing awareness to the muscles in our face, it can just open up a bit. Okay. So trusting that you've got some of that down, where you want to get to, where you are now. And then the next thing is to, again, really kindly and gently and not too overwhelmingly. We don't want to go into too many stories and let our heads run away with us. But in a connected way, connecting into our bodies. It's really important. Notice these points in our bodies where we might feel things, whether it's our higher heart and our chest, our throat, our jaw, or is it in our heart or around that area, solar plexus, stomach, belly, hips, just anywhere there might be some tension and we hold on to things. And I want you to allow some of these hindering thoughts to come up, but just a little bit of them, all of them, but a little bit of each of them, because we don't want to deny any parts of ourselves. It's really important that we acknowledge the self-doubt, the lack of self-worth, or the lack of belief, or the limiting beliefs, whatever it is. And just jot a few of those down as well, but be kind. And try not to let them, go off into really pulling you down and making you feel really bad. Just allow a little bit of those feelings. That's enough, 1 or 2%, without really pulling us down and making our hearts feel really raw and sad and heavy. Be like, okay, that's there. Okay, I have that belief. Yeah, I think that I'm going to screw it up, or I'm going to, whatever it is. And just breathe with it. Breathe with it and just be gentle. And then the next thing is, and this can be harder for a lot of us, think about what you've done really well so far and write a few of those things down. Any little wins, successes, things you've set up, things you've made happen, just things you've achieved, however small, because sometimes it can be really hard to get ourselves into this mindset of, feeling good about ourselves. But do allow yourself to be really proud. Allow yourself to really, to brag. You're only bragging to yourself, no one's going to see this, but allow yourself to really feel that this is what I've done well. These are things I've done. And it might take you some time. You might need to turn this video off and sit with it for a few minutes, but it's really important. Okay, so we've looked at the future and what success looks like. We've looked at where we are now. We've let some of the hindering thoughts, what's holding us back, these limiting beliefs, and, that I am not enough, or am I enough? And now we've started to feel into, and hopefully we have a list of some real, proud achievements. And if you need more time, stop the video and write some of them down and feel how good, allow yourself to feel how good it feels. And it can sometimes bring up emotion. Like, even if you have to look back in your career or your life and go, my goodness, I've overcome this and I've done this and I've done that. Do it. Get used to that feeling of feeling really pleased with yourself. And then the last step is to look at us now, where we want to get to, where we are now, what's hindering us, what we've done well. And then the next thing is to think of some actions that we can take to get us closer. And it's not always big things. Sometimes they're little things that we have to do. And, you know, one of them for me is I've just been on a training course where I've just signed up for a year-long business mentoring, you know, training course. And we've got such an engaged bunch of people. And, you know, the group, the community all helps each other out. And I've had 2 people call me up and set meetings up with me to go through stuff and practice stuff. I need to do that. I am holding myself back and not doing that. So after this training video, I'm gonna you know, message somebody and say, hey, can we schedule some time in to practice some scripts, go through some stuff, and you know, because I've got to be more proactive like that. So that's my big thing, and I can feel my solar plexus is tensing up just thinking about it. And there'll be some other things I need to do as well, but just think of something you can do to get yourself moving forward. That action is so important. That's what rewires our system and gets us out of this feeling of not feeling enough. So doing all the mindfulness and meditation, you can do as much of that as you like, but if you don't take actions and we don't retrain our system and, you know, create new neural pathways. Something I found out the other day in my training course was that we've got atoms in our bodies that haven't been used yet. And the more we push ourselves out of our comfort zone, the more, you know, these things come alive and we get to do more stuff and become bigger and more expanded. And yeah, so I love that. So yeah, that's a really exciting thing and a really nice thing to end this training on. So good luck with the training. Let me know how you get on, and please do comment about how it was for you, and let me know by email anything you'd like to cover and whatever challenges you're having as a first time or early female leader.